Hi, I'm Debbie Chronister. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm glad you're joining me today. You can find me at stampwithdeb.com, and I am I'm on Facebook Live every Tuesday at 3 o'clock and Pacific time, and I'm so happy you're here with me today. Let's get started. I have a really fun project for you today. Okay, so today I'm going to show you how I made this really cute card, just really sweet. So I'm going to start with my base, which is basic white, and I've cut it at 8.5 by 5.5, and I'm scoring it at 4 1/4. And then I have a layer of Evening Evergreen, which is going to go next. And using my favorite adhesive, my green glue here. And that's going to go right on the front. And then I'm going to put on a layer of crumb cake, which is cut at 5 by 3 3/4. The other one, this one was 5 1/4 by 4. So it's just that 1/4 of an inch difference between each layer. Now let's create the very front. So I'm going to take a piece of basic white, and it's cut at 3.5 by 4 3/4. And I am going to use our masking paper, new from Stampin' Up! This year. And so you can see I've already started tearing it, and so I'm just going to finish tearing that. When you tear it, you want to tear it towards you. And so I've got this nice little edge here that I can use. And there we go. I will peel that off and place it on here. Be careful not to press it too, it's the wrong one. Be careful not to press it too hard, or you'll end up peeling your paper. So you want to press it down lightly, but this is the edge that's most important, is right there. And then I'm going to just once again do that. And actually, I could just cut that. Let me grab my paper trimmer. And I can cut this and just cut it so I have an edge. That way it'll save the rest of this. I don't need all of that. I'm going to cut it just on the other side of the fold line here so that I can peel it off easier. Just a little trick. Nope, I didn't. I cut it right on the, no, I did. Look at that. It's just, it's not going to help much. Okay, it did. It helped. Okay, and then I'm just going to put this way up here, high on my paper. I want a nice size area in the middle there to color. Okay, now I'm going to take my blending brush. I'm going to use my Petal Pink. I'm just going to come in from the side. I want this area over here to be darker and to blend in. Just like that, and go lighter towards the center. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, the other edge, coming in with my Evening Evergreen and my brush. Now this will get dark quick, so because I'm starting with such a dark color, the Petal Pink is a subtle, so it's a much lighter color. And that's pretty much it for that one. Okay, and then leaving on my mask, whoops, I want to stamp these greetings. Oops, let's stamp that one. Let's start with this one. And because my pad has been re-inked really well, I'm going to stamp off because I want it to be light, and then just go right on the edge. I want my stamp on the edge over there. And then I'm going to come in with the Evening Evergreen. And I'm going to do the same thing there. I'm going to stamp off and place that right there. And then I'm going to use the third stamp in there and use the crumb cake and stamp off and go right there. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go right on the edge over here as well, just getting that little bit of on the other side. And it's so, this is so dark, I didn't need to stamp off. I don't think it's going to show much. Okay, now I have my background finished and I can peel this off. And I want to peel it off gently because I don't want to tear my paper, my cardstock that I've just created this beautiful image on. I can reuse these. If I put those backs back on, I can. So you just want to go slow. If need be, I would say half on it. This is narrower than I had planned, but it's beautiful and it will work for what I want. Okay. So then I have a Ranunculus. The stamp that's in this set is the Ranunculus. So I'm going to stamp the Ranunculus. Let me find my paper here that I was going to use. And I'm going to stamp the Ranunculus on this basic white using Memento. Oops. Put my hand in the pad. Let's move this away so I don't get ink all over it. And there is a die in this set, and I'm also going to stamp the hello. And the hello I'm going to stamp in the Evening Evergreen. Which is right here. And I'm going to die cut that so it doesn't matter where it goes, right? So I'm die cutting it with the die that comes in the Ranunculus set. The Ranunculus Romance is what I'm using today. So I colored this with Petal Pink. Let me find the right end here. Since I'm using Petal Pink for my background, I want to stay with that same color. And I'm just going to quickly do that. And then I colored the leaves in, even though I'm using the Evening Evergreen here, to me it was too dark for the leaves, so I'm using Soft Succulent Light. And so you're just going to color those leaves, give them a little bit of color. And we'll cut that out with the die. And this is what we got. Okay, so let's put this together now. So I'm going to start with attaching this, my panel that I've created, to the front of my card. Just leaving that small margin around there evenly. And then I'm going to put my Ranunculus on here using dimensionals. And let's punch out the rest of this. It's got a little bit of cardstock in there that did not come out all the way. just like that. Okay. There we are. Yeah, I wish I had left a little more space in here, but that's okay, huh? Every one of them is different. I'm going to attach the hello with a glue dot, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use half of it for the glue dot, and half of it will hold my ribbon, my bow that I'm going to tie, and I'm just going to attach my hello right there, and take my linen thread, double it over, and tie a bow. And I'll trim off those, oops, tails. Got a pair of tweezers there. Okay, and I've already got my glue dot on there, so I can just attach my bow like that. Let's bring my hello down a little so you can read it, although you know what it says, right? Okay, I'm going to trim those off just a little shorter because they're hanging off the edge. Okay, so now for the inside of my card, I'm going to do pretty much this, just about the same thing, not quite. So that is the front of my card. I'm going to add a little bit of bling, and my favorite bling right now are the iridescent pearls. They are so gorgeous. I had a hard time getting them. I was given a package, and they never, well, it took them a long time to make my desk. They got lost in the process, but I just absolutely love them. I think they're so pretty. And we're just going to put 3 of those on there like that. And then let's do the inside. So for the inside of the card, I'm going to stamp this branch in Memento. And I'm also going to do that on the envelope. So let me grab an envelope. And we'll stamp on there too. And I'm going to stamp, I almost want to stamp on this side this time. And I'm going to. Okay. So then I'm going to color both of these. Oh, for the envelope, when you color an envelope, you want to put something inside of it. So I'm going to stick this piece of cardstock inside my envelope, just so that it doesn't color through onto the back. And also, when you're coloring an envelope, you don't want to go, you don't want to go right to the edges, I'll tell you that, because they do have a tendency to bleed out a little bit. For some reason, the envelopes bleed out. I'm not sure why, but they do. And I'm just going to do a quick coloring job on this. And then I'm going to grab my soft succulent light and finish up those leaves. On both of them. I'm going to get a little bit up here. Those are little buds that haven't opened yet, right? Maybe? Who knows? Okay, so we're going to attach this to our crumb cake. What a beautiful inside. To open up the card and see that on the inside, I think it's just so pretty. Okay, and then on the inside of our card is where we're going to place this. And there is our beautiful card with an envelope. Whoops, let's take that out of there. All ready to be mailed out. Isn't that sweet? I think that is so pretty. Thank you for joining me today. You'll find any of these products at stampwithdeb.com. If you're part of my team, the challenge for this week is to create a card, any card, with crumb cake, petal pink, and evening evergreen. I look forward to seeing what you do. If you're not part of my team and you wanted to go step up and do the challenge, I welcome you to do that and post it on my page at stampwithdeb.com or stampwithdeb in Facebook, or you can email it to me. Thank you so much for joining me today.